Hi there, my name's James Morton and I'm author of How Baking Works and What to Do When It Doesn't. Today on the Happy Foodie channel we're going to tackle brownies, specifically peanut butter, there's a lot of peanut butter, and dark chocolate brownies. These are some of the simplest things you can make. They're definitely one of the simplest things in my entire book. All it involves is taking these ingredients here, chucking them in a bowl, pouring them into this tin, and then baking them for half an hour or so. You cannot go wrong. You really cannot go wrong unless you drop them or something like that. So, take some baking parchment, rip it, and shove it in. Down into the corners, and that's you done. That's all it takes to line a tin. Don't use greaseproof paper and grease it, just use baking paper. It's really simple, it's a wee bit more expensive, but it's totally worth it. Next thing is to add in our butter, sugar, peanut butter, look at that. Some vanilla extract. Always use extract, never use essence. That's horrible synthetic stuff. It's about a teaspoon-ish. And an egg. And all you need to do is mix those together. It helps if your butter's soft. If it's not soft, then just give it a wee microwave. Doesn't take much mixing at all. You don't need to beat air into it or anything like that. This is really simple stuff. Once you've got it to that stage, we can add in our flour and our chocolate. Now we're adding in, rather than chocolate chips, we're using chocolate that I've chopped up. I think that just gives us a wee bit better control over the quality of the chocolate. Chocolate chips just aren't great. And then our flour. You don't need a sieve or anything like that. The final thing to do is just mix it together. Don't be too vigorous here. Whenever you add flour to any bake, you have the potential to build up the gluten if you overmix it, and that can make it a bit tough. So we want to mix it in very gently. Try not to make a mess. And that is done. And all we need to do now is dollop it into the tin, and that's us. This is really, really simple stuff. My granny always taught me never to leave any remnants in the bowl, but I was always partial to licking the bowl clean myself, so I always left a wee bit. As you can see, we're going to leave quite a few rustles in the baking paper. Don't worry about that. It's absolutely fine. As the mixture melts a wee bit in the oven, it'll push everything to the side, so this doesn't need to be smooth. Now, usually, the next bit of this recipe would just be to chuck this in the oven, but I forgot to preheat it. So I've got to preheat the oven for a wee bit, at the very least, to 150 degrees fan or 170 convection, gas mark 3-ish. Just anything around 3 will be fine. But because this recipe is so fail-safe, you know, this can't go wrong, I'm just going to chuck it in anyway, it'll be fine. Excellent. So those are done. A lovely golden brown colour. All they need now is to be left to cool for a wee bit, 10 or 15 minutes will do, and then we can dust them with cocoa. So now that this is cooled, we can take it out of the tin. Any wee bits, nom them. As you can see, it's not stuck at all, and so the final step is just to dust it with some cocoa powder. I like to pour it into the sieve, holding the sieve over a solid surface. And that stops it all falling out the bottom. And then lift it up and tap. Be quite liberal. I like to slice it into 16. Okay. Texture feels good there, not too gooey, not overcooked, and I cannot wait to tuck in. Oh, that's awesome. That was really awesome. You can find more of my recipes and plenty others besides on the Happy Foodie YouTube channel, and you can find all the details of this recipe below. Some strong white flour, gotta be quite soft, and then you fold it over very liberally with our loopy icing. Isn't that fantastic?